Many of you were raised on the prairies. Yeah, a lot of you. Okay, you folks know what winter is. Him too? Snow coming up. Yeah, exactly. Yes, oh, for sure. It would go down to 40 below on November the 1st, and with a wind at 40 miles an hour, and it would stay like that until the end of March. White Christmas was guaranteed. Yes. And we walked 10 miles to school and back, 28 miles, uphill both ways. Well, on those long winter Manitoba nights, one of the things we sometimes did was to read the poems of Robert Service. He was known as the Bard of the Yukon, although I don't think he ever got there. He was a bank clerk at the Bank of Commerce in Kamloops. But he did have a sense of what winter was like. And so this is a wintry sort of Christmas poem that many of you have heard before. And if so, just pretend that you've never heard it before. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. There are strange things done in midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Lamarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam around the clothes, God only knows. It was always cold. But the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way, I'd sooner live in hell. It was Christmas Day. We were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of the cold through the parka's fold and stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes being closed and the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if and I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low I couldn't say no. Then he says in a kind of moan, it's because it's cold and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clear through to the bone. Yet take me in dead, it's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair you'll cremate my last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail, and we started on at the streak of dawn. God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in the sleigh, and he raved all day about his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half-hid that I couldn't get rid of because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, but it seemed to say, y'all may tax your brawn and your brain, but your promise true, and it's up to you to cremate my last remains. Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that road. In the long, long night by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet place seemed to heavy and heavier grow, and on I went till the dogs were spent and the grunt was getting low and the trail was bad. I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and the derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a place it was called the Alice Lake. I looked, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then, here, said I with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared such a blaze you seldom see. And then I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike. I'd like to hear him sizzle. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke, like an inky cloak, went streaking through the sky. I don't know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about before I again ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked and it's time I looked. The door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile, you could see a mile, and he said, please close the door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll lay in the cold in the store. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men loyal for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam McGee.